Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman and I am on my way to MegaCon. It's probably going to be the biggest con I've ever been to. Most of the ones I've been to have been small to medium sized, but this one's like going to be huge. Hayden Christensen's going to be there, Ewan McGregor, a lot of A-list celebrities, a lot of people from Star Wars, a lot of people from Marvel, and a bunch of movies that we all know and love. I'm supposed to be at the creator stage on Saturday at 1 p.m. with Chandler and a couple of other YouTubers. And Chandler was really the one that pretty much talked me into going. I'm going out there to meet a buddy of mine. I got a few other small things I'm wanting to do just while I'm there. And I am running about an hour and a half late because in true fashion, I had car trouble right as I was beginning to leave. I had packed up the car. I'd already put in all my camera equipment, my luggage, all of my little knickknacks, chargers and things like that, and said my goodbyes to my wife. I get in the vehicle and it will not turn over. So I pulled out our other vehicle to jump this one. It jumped and I said, okay, I'll see ya. I let it sit in the driveway for a little bit idle and I was like, let me see if the alternator will help charge that battery. Gave it some time, cut it off. Could not start it again. So I was like, great. I got baking soda out and water and there was a ton of corrosion on there. Tried turning it over again, still wouldn't start. So I was like, okay, well, here's what we'll do. I've been in this situation before, actually, many a time. I have jumper cables in the back, but I also have this. It's my emergency backup battery. So it has jumper cables on it. And before I left, I jumped the car with it. So I was like, you know, worst case scenario, if after I'm driving for a bit, the alternator doesn't charge the battery and I have to jump it, I can just jump it with that and then charge it at my buddy Gus's house, who I'm staying with in Orlando, so I don't have to pay for those hotels. I'll just charge it over at his place and that should be good to go. And I was hoping I had a little more gas in this vehicle than I do, because I'm gonna have to pull over soon and get gas and we'll test out to see if this even works. So far, it's gonna be a great trip. I'm already running late. Having vehicle troubles, and that's something, this is only a short-term solution, so we'll have to actually replace the battery probably when I get home. But still, gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And now, this is not a joke, the pump isn't working now. Oh God, I cannot believe it. Which means hopefully the car will turn over so I can take it to another pump. God. Let me go jump it. Watch this brilliant Florida thing I'm about to do. Woo! Like a charm. Can't wait to do that 8,000 more times. I was finally able to get gas and did stop for a fill-up along the way, but I did make it. By the time I got there, it was a little late, but I had to take my buddy Gus to Soupa Saiyan, which is a bit of a tradition now when coming to Orlando. We're here at Soupa Saiyan. I got in just a little bit ago. Every time I come to Orlando, I always come here to Soupa Saiyan. It's one of my favorite places ever. Let's get some pho.
I just need to make the dive and just get into Dragon Ball. It just seems a little overwhelming when I think about all of it. Where should I start?
It's a hotly contested debate about where to start. I started where most American viewers started, with Dragon Ball Z, but there is Dragon Ball that takes place before that. I would say if I were to go back, I'd probably start with Dragon Ball. It's like 5 seasons, what we would refer to as seasons. They seasonized it for kind of Western audiences, but they're like 30 episodes-ish per season. I'd probably start there just to get the full experience, but there is a massive tonal shift from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. It's almost like two different experiences. Dragon Ball is much more of like Japanese comedy, adventure type of stuff, and then Dragon Ball Z is a much more serious action fighting anime. So it'd really be up to you how much time you wanted to put into it. There's also Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is like in a cut down version of Dragon Ball Z. They did that specifically to make it more in line with the original manga run, so they cut out like a lot of the filler, a lot of the bonus stuff that was added. So if you want like a more true experience that way. I actually don't mind the Dragon Ball Z stuff, like the original run. I like some of the filler. I like seeing Gohan going to high school and, you know, doing all this little other things, but I see why people wouldn't like that. I am an apologist for the Bruce Falconer soundtrack. It's the American run soundtrack. This is a hotly debated opinion. The Japanese music I don't like as much, like the original music I don't like as much as the American US broadcast version. The Japanese music can be a little bit da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I think, and then the Bruce Falconer is much more like dun 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 dun. It's just a lot more impactful, I think, but that's just an opinion. All that to say, depends on how much time you want to put into it. I would recommend watching the US broadcast audio version of the original Dragon Ball Z run. But you can't go wrong with watching Dragon Ball Z Kai. You'll just have to watch it with the Japanese music, which some people prefer. It's just a preference thing.
Is Dragon Ball necessary to get backstory or context going into Dragon Ball Z, or are they separate entities where you can watch Dragon Ball Z and still understand what's going on? Is Dragon Ball Kai the same thing as Dragon Ball Z but condensed, like you said, or are they like different projects?
Dragon Ball absolutely will help you understand context better. There's a whole relationship between Goku and this character named Piccolo that gets lost in Dragon Ball Z if you don't know their backstory. They were like highly heated enemies. When Dragon Ball Z starts, they still are enemies, but you have this entire series of events, this entire saga that you have no context for. So you know that they're enemies. So it would help. Dragon Ball Z hits the ground running pretty hard. They hit you with a lot of exposition really quick to show you that this is not Dragon Ball, this is Dragon Ball Z. And then Dragon Ball Z Kai is Dragon Ball Z. It's the same footage and everything, just condensed, and the dialogue itself has been changed to be more accurate to the manga. So it's a more purist take on it.
What is it about the story of Dragon Ball that you like so much? Like, why does it resonate so strongly with you guys? I know that you've loved it since you were kids and you hold it such high regard, but like, what about it do you love to this day?
They're constantly adding more to the story, and I think that there's probably an element of nostalgia. I'm not saying that there's not, because I have grown up with it since I was a kid, and it was like this perfect show for a 12-year-old boy to really get into all this action and fighting, transformations and all that stuff. Kind of the same kind of deal with Harry Potter. I've just kind of grown with the series as it's progressed. Like Gohan is Goku's son. I was a kid when Gohan was a kid, and then when he was a teenager, I was a teenager. Then when he's in high school, college, I was in high school, college. So I'm growing up with them. And just like Harry Potter, yes, we're growing up with them, so there's that nostalgic factor, but it's also just a good storyline. There are sagas in it, and among those sagas, some are better than others. So like there's condensed stories within the overall story. So there's some room for like, I don't like that one, I like that one more. I don't like what they did with that, but I really like what they did with that. So that's a little bit more common in a property like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, etc.
I know I don't speak for all Dragon Ball fans, so let us know your preferences for Gus to start the series and some of your opinions.
It is bright and early on Friday, the first day that I will be at MegaCon. My big day at MegaCon is going to be Saturday. So today, Gus and I will be making a slight detour, about a 2-hour drive away to Largo, Florida, to meet Titanic Fan 97 to see the largest collection of Titanic on VHS. And I am so excited to do so. We have to get the battery replaced today because I can't do this all day. I put a little baking soda and water on the nodes of the battery yesterday, hoping it would fix some of the corrosion or just help the connection a little bit. Not quite there yet. We got it. Today's trash day.
Always forget. Just hit it.
2 hours later, we were in Largo, Florida, where I met JD and got to see the world's largest collection of Titanic on VHS. I made a separate video for that specifically, so if you'd like to check that one out, after finishing this one, of course, I'll put a link to that video below.
We just got done meeting JD, who has the world's largest collection of Titanic on VHS. It's one of the funnest things I think I've seen in a long time, primarily because it makes me feel like what old YouTube would be, just like people having fun with different gimmicky kind of things that are just there for fun. That's why they're there.
And he definitely is doing that. And what a cool experience, because I made a video just about discovering his YouTube channel, and then to be able to come out here to Largo to meet him, and he was gracious enough to let me into his home to see the collection, and we were goofing around having some fun, so that was awesome. Anyway, right now I've got to get the battery replaced in this car because I'm sitting in his driveway having to jump it with that battery, and I got to get that fixed. That's just going to be a lingering problem for the rest of this trip, so that's what we're going to go do now. A lot of that was me. It didn't look like that. That was the baking soda hack I saw online. That's not even true. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that a lot. All right, back on the road we go. Once we got back to Apopka, we had spent 4 hours total driving and decided to do a reaction video for the channel. Gus suggested we grab some tacos and watch the superhero movie Blue Beetle since I hadn't seen it yet. Doing the reaction video meant that we'd be missing the con today, but we did find out about an exclusive event at Universal Studios for MegaCon guests only. We of course had to check that out. So we're worried we're gonna run into a little bit of a problem because to go to this Island of Adventure MegaCon event today, we need to have proof that we can go to MegaCon. So we went very late to the convention center. We got stuck in really bad Orlando traffic, and they had closed the ticket center by the time I went in. We don't have our tickets, but we have our QR codes. So if that does not go through, if that doesn't work, we're gonna be out of luck. So hopefully we can get in. I feel like the surfer, Silver Surfer.
Wow, max exodus.
We've talked to 2 people so far who said that us not having our wristbands shouldn't be a problem. So hopefully we'll have a good night of fun. We're supposed to meet a couple other people like Sean Chandler. Hopefully we'll get to meet him tonight before our panel tomorrow. We were able to get our passes, which is great. I was honestly really stressing that. I thought we needed our MegaCon like lanyards, but we're good. It also comes with a $25 gift card, of course, we paid for it. I mean, it's included in the price. So that's great. The park should be like relatively scattered in comparison to like a normal business day. I'm thinking hypothetically we should be able to be getting on rides with very little wait, and we should have a lot of fun. It's still pretty early. It's like 7:30 Eastern time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have a good time, and Gus and I are gonna have some fun. Hopefully run into some fun people, and that's the plan.
Let's get it.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
Thank you.
I have never been here at night, actually.
Really?
And it's like real nice and cool. For those of you that don't know, I'm more of a night person by nature. I'm more like awake and alive at night, and it's only through like necessity of life that I have to get up so early every morning. But I'm gonna message Sean and let him know we're here, and hopefully we can run in, and we'll go and check out, do some rides. Gotta stay limber. Oh. You can't hear it, I'm sure, but I have my back just like bubbling all the way up. I am usually in bed by now. You may not like it, but this is peak physical form. What's up, man? How's it going, man?
Hoping to get you on a panel for a while now, and then it's like finally came together. And of all the places, of all the moments for us to meet at Universal,
Yeah, I know.
That's fun.
I have nowhere to be, so except to hang out and have fun.
Awesome. That's basically like, we've had a long day. Let's do something else really tiring and exhausting. It involves a lot of walking.
I know. Perfect. I mean, I'll be at the con all day tomorrow filming, and so I'm really looking forward to that. How was it today?
I mean, even last night was full. Like
really?
And these are the dead days. 10 a.m. this morning, we still had a bunch of people. I was like, oh man, Saturday's gonna be nuts.
So hey, I'm Holden.
I'm Adam.
Adam, nice to meet you, man. Yeah, Cody, nice to meet you. Are you the speed racer guy?
No,
Oh.
I'm a speed racer.
I love speed. They said
I love it
maybe
too.
it was you,
Yeah.
but I have a huge love for Speed Racer, and somebody.
Wachowski movie you're talking about?
Of course,
Yes, okay,
of course.
yeah.
So we're like, because I've done video essays on Speed Racer. Like, you got to meet Adam, I guess. And I was like, all right, he's a Speed Racer apologist. I'm like, it was unappreciated, ahead of its time. So
I went on my wife after it was getting just destroyed on Rotten Tomatoes and with the critics. And she was pissed going in. She's like, I can't believe I'm going to this
Right.
movie. And we both loved it. Like, she
yeah,
did too.
my theory, you might agree with this, is the marketing. I think they didn't know how or who to market it to, because it's like The Matrix, but it's for families.
I genuinely don't know how they should have marketed it, because it is a totally unique
it's weird.
film.
It's
a good family flick.
I can't think of any movie that is like the same experience as Speed Racer. It's like it's a very unique theater experience. Yeah, it's always way too packed by the time
That's what happened. I was here with my son because he went into 6th grade this year, so we did like a father-son trip last April.
Yeah.
So So we came here, and all day long, that was the one we kept checking. It was always
Never.
2 hours, always 2 hours. We did Hogwarts Academy one, 4 times, and that one was always 2 hours, so we never did it.
Yeah, even when you have the fast pass, if you spring for the express, it doesn't count Hagrid's. So I've never.
Hagrid's or Velociraptor with the fast pass,
Yeah.
the 2 best rides.
So I've never done it.
I don't know. Wait, you never been on it?
No, I've never wanted to wait. I don't want to spend 2 hours of my day doing that.
Last time we were here, well, a couple weeks ago we were here, we got lucky and the wait time was down to 49 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's
Better jump on that one.
It's usually 2 hours.
It's 15 minutes now.
That's why we didn't do it before.
All right, ready?
The ride we're talking about is Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventure, and since the park was so deserted, there was virtually no wait time. So I rode it with the guys.
Did Holden break the ride?
You got to experience my luck firsthand.
Yeah, you have horrible luck.
Yeah, we did the Hogwarts, what do you call it, Hagrid's motorbike ride, and of course it breaks down right as we get to the end. That's me. It was a lot of fun. I'm not as good at roller coasters as some of the others, but that's one I'm really glad I was able to do. And then finally took Gus on the Forbidden Journey ride. Gus isn't crazy about roller coasters either, but it's gentle enough. We both got off, we were kind of dizzy. It's a lot of movement and screens, but ton of fun. Gus, what did you think of Forbidden Journey? Because I know you've never done it before.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool experience going through the castle. I didn't realize it was actually in the castle, and I actually want to go back and just kind of look at all the scenery again and just take it all in. The actual ride was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it. It was a little bit of like moving around screens, so we got a little bit dizzy and kind of like a sensory overload. I wouldn't mind doing that again, like another day. I'm still a little dizzy from it, but it was a cool experience. I definitely would do it again, for sure.
I think I really want to take advantage of just the low queue here at Universal and go back through the castle and just take our time, have a real slow adventure through. This is perfect to explore without all the typical congestion. So I want to take advantage of that. So that's what we're gonna go do. We already did the Forbidden Journey ride, but we just want to kind of take our time going through Hogwarts, considering that there's nobody here. This is a very rare opportunity where you're not shuffling along, where we can just really appreciate all the stuff that is here.
Cool.
I don't think we're supposed to be back here.
It's fine, just look up.
What's that?
Come in here and look up.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm guessing this is forbidden.
We're in the forbidden
part of the Forbidden Forest, guys.
Dumbledore's not gonna like us being here.
We better get out of here before we get thrown out of Hogwarts. I see it. I'm the #1 YouTuber in the world.
I don't see shit.
I don't see anything.
Can't let Snape catch us over here.
Here we have the class of Herbology, which is the study of magical plants. Here we're going to the class where all the mandrakes are. Gotta be careful, they can be lethal. Luckily for us, these ones are just babies. I hope Dumbledore's not too mad at us. There's a painting.
Right out the window. Must get down to the latch.
They actually had to get patented technology to make it look like a painting still.
What are all these muggles doing at Hogwarts anyway?
Salazar Slytherin.
I expect this is Dumbledore's doing. Dumbledore, unlike you, Salazar, sees through all people, whether or not they possess magic. I think I detect a future Quidditch player or two amongst our younger visitors.
That's me.
Personally, I recommend Mathilda Bagwell's Hogwarts of History.
No one else has read the book alone.
For your information, it happens to be, by general consensus, the definitive volume on Hogwarts.
Anyway, we thought you might rather watch a game of Quidditch than listen to Ben's
but we'll have to sneak you out of the castle and down to the pitch, and we reckon the best way of doing that is to fly you there.
Come now, use the button. Darling. Ah,
Did you ever take one of those Hogwarts sorting house courses online?
Yes.
What house were you sorted into?
Ravenclaw.
Really? Gryffindor. I know it's basic, but it is what it is.
Classic.
I feel like this is how a theme park should be. Like, people about, but you have some space. Of course, they're never going to do that. There's too much money and cramming us all in here. It's also nice that it's just like cool outside. I prefer the frozen over the regular.
Me too.
Yeah. Probably the only time in my life I'll be at Universal Studios when nobody else is here. It is just absolutely empty, except for me and Gus.
Pretty cool just to kind of explore and take our time with stuff without any people bothering us.
In the summertime, this is just filled with people. Gus faced his fear and did the Forbidden Journey ride, which is my favorite ride in the whole park. I finally got to do the Hagrid's motorcycle ride, which I've missed every single time I've been here because the lines have always been so long. And then tomorrow is MegaCon Day, so we'll see you in the morning. The first thing on my list was the creator panel with some of the other YouTubers. Our topic was if we thought the comic book movie bubble had burst.
Just finished the panel, how was it?
Yeah, just finished the panel, a lot of fun. I get pretty significant stage fright, but you know, it's okay, you push through it.
It didn't show.
But it was a lot of fun. It's like, oh man, I'm not editing this one, am I? Afterwards, I had a small line form of fans of mine that wanted to meet me. I'm not used to that, so it was a great and humbling feeling. One of the things that we're going to do is meet Steve and Amell. Gus is actually a really big fan of Arrow. Excited to go meet him. How you feeling, Gus?
I'm a little nervous. My armpits are starting to sweat. We have still like 10 minutes till we meet him, so but it'll be good. I'm not going to freeze. I remember what I was going to say to him. See how it goes. I'm pretty excited.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, Steven. My name's Gus. I'm a big fan of yours since season 1.
Appreciate you, man.
I'm in now, and you just really inspired me ever since 2011.
Cool, man.
I'm really nervous to meet you, but
it's all good, man. I like your shirt.
Thank you, man.
Can I get a picture? Is that okay?
Yeah, is it cool if you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Steven, great.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you, man.
All right, Gus, how did it feel?
I've been waiting for this moment since 2011. I was able to tell him what I wanted to tell him, so that was good. And it just was super surreal. I was like, I can't believe this is happening while it was happening. So yeah, he was a super nice guy. It was awesome. Super excited.
trying to get into the main theater, the Chapel Theater, to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and we're here like an hour early, and it is just absolutely packed. They said they're at max capacity, so I don't even know if we'll be able to get in. I don't know. It's just like a sea of people. Basically, this entire side here is what the max is, and then on this side is overflow. So we're gonna try to wait it out a little bit, see what we can do. But if not, well, let's find something else to do. Some time has elapsed. It's getting a little bit more hectic. Somebody was crying over there at the prospect of maybe not getting in. So we're gonna stick it out and see if we can't make it. They just started letting them in, and some people were screaming over there. It's gonna be pretty crazy here soon. You can see they've already formed like a barrier to try to keep us from getting in, or trying to keep people from getting in.
We're at capacity in the theater. We can have no more.
They're gonna get some angry people. Oh yeah, listen over there. They're gonna be real mad.
Here comes the riot.
We have reached full capacity, folks. We ask you please head back downstairs. I understand you are disappointed and probably frustrated.
Looks like quite a few people had already left anyway, but it's still pretty massive, the amount of people. We didn't get to do the big panel. We were just too late. But bright side is that now it's gotten a little later in the day because we were waiting there so long. We can kind of enjoy the vendor floor a little bit more. It's not nearly as congested. And a lot of this stuff I haven't even seen yet. We've like shuffled through halls, but now I want to get a chance to kind of see what stuff they have. Checked out the line for the after party, and apparently it's a paid edition. It's like $45. So I'm not looking to spend that, and I don't care enough about it to do it. So we're gonna head back and call it a night. But this was a lot of fun. The whole weekend experience has been great. It's one of the highlights being, honestly, us going to Universal last night. But this was really, really fun. I can't wait to do some more stuff like this, and honestly, I can't wait to get home to my baby. So that's what I'm really thinking about now, ready to get home.
It is bright and early Sunday morning. I've got quite a long drive ahead of me, but I had a really wonderful time. MegaCon was great. My voice is actually a little raspy from all the talking and everything, so that's a good sign. But I'm so excited to get back home to my baby boy. I just miss him a lot. As much as I love meeting all the celebrities and all the people that were excited to meet me, which is incredibly humbling, I'm ready to get home to my boy. So I didn't get much sleep, so I'm trying to be a little extra careful with my driving here because I'm kind of fatigued. I'm gonna get down a bit to get out of like the major metropolitan area to get some coffee. And there's supposed to be a pretty significant storm in Pensacola when I get back, so hopefully I'll beat it, or I'll get there before it's like really high. But there were like national weather emergency warnings. And one of the reasons I wanted to leave so early today is because it's also Sunday, which means hopefully the traffic will be fairly light. So I might be able to shave, half an hour to an hour just of traffic time out of the way and get home a little quicker. So we got a bit of a road trip ahead of us. Just filled up the tank. The weather is getting pretty bad. There's supposed to be tornado warnings back home. And when I was standing outside, I realized just how windy it really is. And so I'm gonna probably take it slow this last little stretch of the trip. I finally made it home. I've actually been home for a little while now and realized I didn't close out the video. I miss him so much. He's getting a little cranky now because it's getting close to bedtime. But I wanted to say goodbye. Wanted y'all to see the little baby because he's growing real fast. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen him when he was born, and he's 7 months as of recording this. So say bye, hero. Say bye. Oh, he's done. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.